Independent wrestling is full of charismatic persona, incredible athleticism,
shooting star, press from pressure, cover,
and at times, complete chaos.
got attention.
Don't do it, Will.
Oh
my gosh.
Senton bomb through the table.
This is where the young guys, the young girls come today to pay their dues, to learn the craft, to start the journey to become the next wrestling superstar. I'm WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, and these are the Indies. Hey, welcome back to the Indies, guys, and we're going to get this thing rolling with part 2 of that interview with Will Ospreay. Let's talk about the World Cup 17, Will Ospreay versus Ricochet. When I was coming up, it was Steamboat Savage. I was like, man, I want to have a match like Steamboat Savage, WrestleMania 3, just one time. And I got a chance to do it with Chris Benoit in WCW, the Best of 7 series. And I see, this match, Ricochet versus Ospreay. That's kind of like, Best of 7 series. You guys went out there and had some great psychology in that match. The one thing that struck me in that match is something I talk about today is I talk about the "This is awesome" chant, the "This is awesome" chant, but to get the "Let's go Ospreay" chant, "Let's go Ospreay" chant is what I'm looking for as a performer. Now, the "This is awesome" chant, that's just icing on the cake. All right, that's just an extra bonus. How important is it for you to actually create the crowd to get to that point?
I think it's very important because if they're not, do you know what? I don't know if it's just you as well, and I would actually really like to hear your opinion on this, but I do think it's almost too easy to get the "This is awesome" chant now because everyone is a freak athlete. Everyone's a freak right now. But do you know the one that I love these days? It's the one where they haven't got a chant and they're just mind blown and they just cheer and they clap and they're like, we can't believe this is happening. That's the one that I go for these days.
Now, for a young man, that's the right idea. That's exactly the way I think. As far as the "This is awesome" chant, it's too easy. But to make the people, for me, I used to want the people to say Booker T, Booker T. I needed them to have, as a babyface, such as you were in that match. I talk about working from the bottom, pretty much the whole match. That match was 22 minutes, and you work from the bottom that whole match to get that finish, to really make the fans feel an emotional connection with you at the end of the night. And I just think there's something that's missing. How cool was it working with someone like Ricochet, someone who's extraordinarily talented?
So I like telling this. I like going back into memory lane. Ricochet, honestly, dude, he was. So I looked up to him a lot. Like as a kid, I knew these crazy double moonsaults in IWA, and he was the first ever foreigner outside of England that I ever wrestled. So when I went up to him, I was like, "Hey, I know nothing, but I can do everything. I'm here to learn from you today." And he just, I guess he kind of like, oh, I blessed him. Like he just wants to. I went because I want to learn your style because you're how I wrestle, but I can't do it right. I can't do it like you. So he would teach me so much working with him. And then we would work, we'd work in England, a couple more in England, a couple more in America. And then it just culminated to Japan, where we just kind of did our things there. And then we kind of just took it everywhere. We took it in Ireland. We did it so many times in England. I've lost track. But the thing that always just makes me like, I just want to put that over to people is he was so patient and he was so willing to give. And he was such a nice guy. And every time I thought, oh, God, I don't want to suggest this because I feel like it's a dumb idea. I would suggest it. And he would say, no, this is how we're going to make it work. And this is how we're going to make it look good. So he was honestly, he was such a big help for the start of my career. And I can't tell you enough. He's such a gentleman. He's such a lovely dude. He's met me mum and dad so many times. He remembers their name. He's honestly, he's a star. And every time I've got in the ring with him, I learn more and more every single day. Like everyone says, like everyone these days goes, "Will, you're one of the best high flyers." I went, "No, I'm not. I'm nowhere near, mate." Ricochet's the guy that taught me, so I've got to give him all the credit under the sun when it comes to the high flying hybrid style.
Definitely, man. You know, that match was 2017. It's 2021 now. And just listening to you talk, it seemed like the growth of Will Ospreay is, you know, limitless. How far have you grown? How much have you grown since 2017 to the person you are now?
I mean, like in terms of weight put on, I've put on about like 15 kilos. Like,
You're more jacked. I can tell you that.
I'm doing my best, man. I'm trying to catch up to everyone else. Everyone's got jacked all of a sudden, and I was like, "Oh God, that." But honestly, it was towards 2018. Like I broke my ribs in 2018, and towards that point, I started putting on weight, and I realized, because I'll be honest with you once again, mate. Like I didn't really have a lot of money. I couldn't afford a gym membership, and I didn't understand nutrition, and I didn't understand why it was important. I was just a skinny fat kid doing flips. I could get away with hiding in the limelight a little bit, but then I started realizing there was opportunity. So then I started digging more into like how you work out, etc. And I was able to put on so much mass that I think New Japan kind of noticed that and were edging me towards the heavyweight division, which is nerve-wracking for me because I just thought I'd be a junior heavyweight for the rest of my life. Yeah. And it was just one of those like wonderful things where it happened so naturally. And like now, I do look back at junior heavyweight Will. I wish I could do the stuff that junior heavyweight Will could do now, like because I can't do it anymore. But it's so cool to look back from where I started. And once again, I couldn't afford the gym membership, mate. Like I was broke more than anything. And now I'm sitting at a 28-year-old man. I weigh 105 kilos now. I'm a big boy, and I've got this jewelry on my neck. I've got these lovely sunglasses covered in moustache, my man. I'm just, as much as like I've got a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, I'm grateful, and I'm so humble for the fact that I've been able to be under this learning tree and like have people like you know. It's so cool. I can't tell you enough how cool this is, and just to be learning every single day. And like now, I'm resting right now. I'm rehabbing. So like I can't wait to come back and just like, even though like I'm gonna have a bit of a shitty grin on my face and I'm gonna be that bad guy, but like, you know, I'm so honestly, I'm just grateful to be here. Do you know what I mean?
Hey man, you know, I have a saying, you know, young people see young people like yourself doing things, they can aspire to be you. I had so many young kids looking up to me when I was coming up in my career. This one kid came up to me one day, and I was in this park that I used to go to all the time, and he said, "Booker T." I said, "Yeah." He said, "I want to be you when I grow up." What do you tell the young guys that's in this business trying to cut their teeth that perhaps may want to be the next Will Ospreay? What do you tell that kid, man, that's out there grinding?
Have a good heart. Because I think that's how I've managed to. I've got a real. I hate saying it about myself. I feel like I'm very polite. I always condone myself very well, like to all the people that I've ever respected, and like I can be a fool sometimes. I can admit that. I can be like the class, but I've always had a good heart for wrestling. I've always wanted to help other people out, and sometimes I feel like there will be points in your life where like wrestling isn't going your way. I can remember when NXT UK became a thing. And I felt like I was on such a hot ride with New Japan. I was the British guy representing my country. But because NXT UK started to become a thing, everyone kind of forgot about me. And I felt so deflated and depressed about it. But instead of being depressed about it, I kind of looked at the world and who needs help right now? And I went to Australia and I went to New Zealand. I had a little holiday, but like there was some independence that I could work for. And I met guys like Robbie Hughes and Adam Brooks and Gino Gambino, Marcus Cole, Shane Strickland, and so many like international names down under. And instead of doing a half-assed Will Ospreay, I just went balls in and I gave everything that I could, because that way it's going to, if people are hearing like there's a good Will Ospreay match over in Australia, anyone that's a fan of me will go straight over there and it gives them that little bit of exposure. So no matter where I go, I always try and give everything that I've got. And I think that's just because I do love wrestling more than anything. And Brooke, you could probably say the same thing. There have been times when your heart has been broken because of pro wrestling, but there's also been times that your heart's probably been fixed by pro wrestling. And it's that giving, and you can really help somebody else out. And I think that's the coolest thing that I've ever been able to do, is that there'll be people that will say, I'm quitting this soon, and then they'll do a really good match with us, and then like it brings their spirits up, and I can't tell that. It makes me smile now. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just
man. I tell you, man, you shouldn't have to worry about anything going on forward in this business. I want you to know, man, that you have created something organically on your own. This is not something that happened by osmosis or anything like that. You put the work in. Your flavor is kind of like Prince or Michael Jackson. You're going to always get booked, and you're going to always get booked for top dollar. No, I'm serious. Just because of what out there and do, your performance, what you bring to the game. And that right there, I say young guys, you can learn from that. I'll be open for advice if it's coming from the right people, because I was like you. If I got advice sometime from certain guys, went in one ear and out the other. You know?
No, to be honest with you, Book, like, that's actually something that I say to people. I say, don't get advice from everyone, because everyone's different. Get advice from the guys that expect. I remember I did a show in Ireland once, and I was sat here and I was trying to give feedback to someone that I was tagging with. But then also someone comes over it, and then everyone is getting bombarded. And I said, I would hate to have been him at that point, because you just got bombarded with information.
Yeah.
Then, like, in reality of things, I should have just took him to a corner and just been like, here's what you could have done. But like, and I think that's like, I think advice is always good. I really do think that. But like, sometimes you don't have to take everybody's advice. Take the guy's advice that you respect and that you admire and that you want to be like. And that's where like AJ Styles came in for me. Excellent. I remember sitting down with AJ, like after I had a match with him, and I just remember, like, dude, when I found out I was facing AJ Styles, a tear rolled down my eye. It was the greatest day, like, because the sole reason I got into wrestling. I know the Shawn Michaels out in the world, the Triple H's, all of these guys, but AJ was it for me. And I remember when I got told I was facing, man, a tear rolled down my eye. I started crying. I was so thankful, and this how cute he was, and how he took time and he explained why we do these things. And I told him, I'm going to Japan, because he was leaving to go WWE. The funny thing was, I found, like, I was in McDonald's with him, like the week before he made his Rumble debut. And I was just, but like, I told him I'm going to Japan in April, and he said, I'm proud of you, man, and you're going to do so well in there. And I won the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, and he dropped me a message, like, and just says, bro, I'm so proud of you. And man, it gets me every single time, because that's my hero, man. That's such a big deal to me.
Man, you said something, being humble. I tell people all the time, it doesn't cost you anything to be nice to people. That small little bitty thing would take you so far in life. You could be the greatest performer that the business ever produced, and nobody like you, but you could be good and people like you, and you stick around forever. You know what I mean? So that's the way life, I think, really truly is, man. So I just want to thank you for giving me some time. Before I get you out of here, New Japan Pro Wrestling got a show August 14th at the LA Coliseum, Resurgence. Tickets on sale at NJPW1972.com. Also available on Fight TV. That's pay-per-view. Some of the stars going to be there: John Moxley, the Good Brothers, Jay White, David Finlay, Juice Robinson, and a whole lot more, as well as a couple of days later, August 16th, at the Thunder Studios in Long Beach, California, Fighting Spirit Unleashed. Tickets on sale also, NJPW1972.com. And some of the stars also: Jay White, Juice Robinson, Filthy Tom Lawler, Fred Rossi. I think Fred might want to change that name. That's just not a championship name to me. But Leo Rush as well, he'll be there. And a whole lot more stars be there on that show. Guys, don't miss out. Shout out. Will, I tell you, man, your career, it's just beginning. You're still in, you're nowhere near it. I can only imagine, what you're gonna, do in this business, the legacy that you're gonna leave. But more importantly, man, just keep doing what you're doing. You got anything you want to tell your fans before you get up out of here?
just thanks for the support. Like, honestly, I know I'm a handful sometimes. I know people. I'm a nightmare sometimes. I completely understand. You get mad at me. But I'm your nightmare. I'm your nightmare. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, no, and Book, I'm just saying it again, man. Like, for me as a kid, watch you growing up. And I can't tell you enough. You've given me so many just happy memories where I would sit down with my dad. And me and my dad never had the best relationship, but wrestling kind of brought us together. And I can remember me and my dad sitting there and watching you get your ass handed to you by Stone Cold in a shopping centre, or doing stuff with Goldust, or winning the world championship, being King Booker. And I've got so many just happy memories. So when you reached out, man, I can't tell you the smile that was on my face and how much I was bragging to all my schoolmates about this. This is honestly, I can't tell you enough, man. You're such a gangster, bruv. You are such a cool dude. I
appreciate it, man.
Enough, my man. Thank you so much for everything.
Nah, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate those kind words, and anything I could do to ever help you, man, to further your career. I'm always here for you, bro. And I'll be talking about you in the future and steady putting you over. Can't wait for you to get back in the ring and to keep doing your thing. And again, thanks for stepping inside the Indies and just giving me a little bit of your time, bro. I appreciate you.
God bless, man. Thank you so much.
Boom. Hey, I want to thank you for being a part of the show today. Make sure you send me your comments. Let me know exactly what questions that you want me to ask the young future stars of the business. But before you get out of here, guys, check out the best of the Indies.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to see something for the first time ever done in the history of the Indies. Oh, my God. Head bang straight to the floor. I mean, he's done.
Shoot!